Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the mop here on a Wednesday morning. Sunshine is out, and it is gorgeous in southwest Wisconsin. Yes, temperatures are cool. Saw a guy down at the reservoir here, flocks of geese everywhere. So the ducks and the geese know to get the heck out of Dodge. So I'm guessing they're going to head that way soon. So welcome to the mop here on a Wednesday morning. Has the school let us down, or have we just become plain lazy? Some may answer both. I remember being taught math, having to do timetables, having to do all of that. So when people spew numbers of just numbers, do you just say, oh, yep, that's good. Yep, that makes sense. Here's an example. So President Trump now says that all citizens would get this $2,000 check. Okay, last I knew there was over 300 million citizens here in the U.S. That means that's $600 million. And that he's going to use the tariff revenue to do that, and whatever's left will pay down the national debt. Has anybody sat and done that math? Or can you justify that in your head? So $600 million. And it's actually more than that. I think they say right around 680. And we've taken in $140 million in tariffs. Are we missing some numbers? Because we're going to create a national debt and add to the national debt if we go with his plan. Makes sense. And everybody's cheering. Oh, by the way, if you didn't vote for Trump, you shouldn't get that. I remember when there was other checks sent out a while ago. I'm sure that you didn't vote for the gentleman that you got your check from. See, we're just trying to appease people. And we're trying to appease people that don't want to think that they're being screwed over by the current president because they are big fans of his. Take time. If you are in business and you are a business owner or a sales manager or CEO or CFO, take the time to just, instead of saying President Trump, say whoever your boss is, comes to you and says, hey, we're going to do this. And this is what we're going to do. If it creates a deficit or debt to the business, it doesn't make a whole damn hell of a lot of sense. And if you spend money and you go in the hole, how much money is there left to pay off the national debt? I'll wait. You can do that math. So take the big number, $2,000 per citizen. Look it up yourself for how many citizens there are in the U.S. times 2,000. Then if you just Google how much revenue from tariff money is there, minus that from there, and see what you come up with. Take some damn time, folks. Don't rip on people right away. Blah, 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 you're not going to get it if you didn't vote, blah, blah, blah. And yet, you still are on the board. I see Johnson had the big Democratic shutdown on the podium. And then you have people saying, well, it's kind of weird that Democrats are agreeing that obviously it was a Democrat shutdown, because now it looks like when the Democrats say yes, we move forward, so it's the Democrats' fault. No, see, this is all shit you don't understand. You're not cycling through this thing. See, you're not, just shut this off. Okay? Plug this. Use these. Use this. And if you have to, use that thing in your hand that you're watching this on currently to do some math. And figure it out. I also want, then, if you're going to be the ones to say, hey, by the way, if we do get this $2,000, which I think a lot of you are still waiting for your Doge checks of $5,000, I think if you are saying that if we get these $2,000 Trump checks, that if you voted for Trump, you don't get your check. Okay, fine. I got a deal for you. I won't take the $2,000 as long as when our insurance premiums and everything else go through the roof, that you pay for them for everybody else. When insurance premiums go through the roof, you then pay for those. Because see, here's the deal. You're going to get this $2,000 check, if you get it. Really what it is, it's going to balance out maybe your premiums or your insurance bumps for a while. See, this is how they play the game. They get you to blame the other side, and so does the Democrats. They do it too. I get that. But I'm just trying to make some common points of common sense. Let's do some math, figure it out. If I went to the boss and said, hey, here's the deal. I know we can do our light kits for $2.99, but we'll sell a lot more of them if we mark them down or we give the customers a $305 credit or a coupon so they can cash that in. So then we owe them, $6 or whatever per. Do you see where this is not a good scenario? Please take time. Take time, take a deep breath, take the right and left out of the mix. Remember when we were in high school and we would have to do story problems? And there would be shit in the story problems that had nothing to do with it. Like, hey, if Johnny and his family went on a family trip and they drove 2 hours at 55 miles an hour, and gas was this or that, and they stopped and had lunch, how many miles did they drive? See, there was a whole lot of stuff in there that don't make sense. That's what you're seeing right now. You're hearing this stuff that doesn't make sense. So if you're banking on a $2,000 check, you haven't really looked into what that program is going to cost in the long run. Because $2,000 per citizen doesn't come to where we make profit, period, on any of the tariffs he has brought in. He hasn't brought even enough to carry over into covering the program. And tariffs are still taxes that we have all paid on, so you're getting it back. See, this is where people are not paying attention. Tariffs are not revenue. Tariffs are taxes that people have paid. My boss has paid tariffs. So my boss is paying into that pool. Okay? The government didn't pay it. The government didn't collect it from anybody but the people that are here ordering the stuff. Make sense? Maybe it don't. I don't know. So the $2,000, do the math. Instead of just going, well, he's a smart guy, he's in charge, so he would make sense. He wouldn't come if it didn't make sense and help us. Do the math. And we all had multiplication. I know we did. Not the new form shit that they're trying to teach kids. This is the ones you can push into the calculator. So again, I'll lay out the story problem. $2,000 times every citizen in the U.S. equals X amount of money. Google how many dollars have come in from the tariffs to the United States. Answer. So you take that money minus the tariff money equals this. You're going to have a negative. You got to put that negative line. Or if you're the fancy people, you can put it in red, because it's going to be red. It's going to be in the hole. See, black is good as far as positive. If you ever done spreadsheets, black is good, red is bad. Red means there's that little circle in there that says, oh, yeah, you're in the hole. So there's no paying off the national debt that's already in a big hole. That hole's huge. Okay? So we're just going to add to it. No, Chris, he wouldn't do that. If you haven't figured it out, he bankrupted a casino. Okay? Do you know how hard it would be to bankrupt a casino? Look around. There's a lot of them. And I don't think you see going out of business sales at any of the casinos. I just don't. They're building more of them. I'm guaranteeing it's because they're not losing money. They're not bad for their pocketbooks. Just my thought. So, all I'm asking is take your time before you post, oh God, you worthless liberals that voted for this guy, you don't get your checks. My guess is that when the grand national debt is added, you're going to go, so if that's the case, then you're going to be responsible for paying back that money. Okay? If that's how you want that rule to go. When it doesn't end up positive and you see the national debt went from a few trillion to adding another trillion to the debt. And you go, well, how'd that happen? He said that wouldn't happen. Yeah. Have you noticed that our economic advisor is saying that gas is at a 30-year low? And that mortgages are way down percentages, because when they took over it was 7%. And now it's down to 6%. Well, I hate to break it to you. My mortgage on my house was done 5 years ago. And it's 2.8. Vehicle loans are skyrocketed. Oh, here's another one to do math on. 50-year mortgages. Try to sell yourself on a 50-year mortgage. I'm 51. Sounds like a good idea to take out a mortgage that I'll have paid off at 101. Have you understood what's going on? A 50-year mortgage. You can't make this shit up. It's absolutely absurd to try to convince somebody that they need, oh, it'll improve homeowners. No, it won't. My kid would be 75 or 78 when he pays off. And he would have paid if he buys a $200,000 or $300,000 home now on a 50-year mortgage. Do you know how? Oh my goodness. Please, folks, do some simple math. Do some common sense. And stand up and be heard. You don't have to do it in a rude way. You don't have to be evil about it. We have to take time to really think about what this is going to do. Figure out a 50-year mortgage and go, that's a good idea. That'll kind of set it up where you can look at where your current president is mentally thinking. He's not thinking at all. And I saw now the Trump RX thing where he's going to get into the... Do you think any of this is benefiting the middle to lower classes? No. It's all just a bunch of diversion. It's a bunch of things to make you look the other way. Start paying attention. Okay, granted, they don't like Obamacare. Tell me a health care plan. I sent a message to Van Orden. I told him about my mom's event. Because I said, I don't agree with you. He goes, on what? I said, on everything. I feel you're a MAGA supporter. and you don't want to open up your eyes to middle and lower class. Oh, that's what I got. Because why? So I explained. I said, so I'm running this event because of the money you're canceling from research and everything else, and I don't see a plan coming from the right side. What did I get back for a response from a politician that's in the professional part of it? RGR for Roger. That's the only response I got from this guy. Was, why? I explained it. Roger. Not, hey, I've got this plan. Not, hey, I've got to do this idea. Or, hey, even thanks for raising that money. Because they don't give a shit. It was, thanks, or why? Roger. That was it. The guy is an absolute waste of space in government for us. There is so many of them that are not battling anything. They are just following because that's how they feel. They're going, wait till midterms. If you thought this last election was bad, wait until you see what happens to the MAGA universe if they don't start changing their ways. I say it again. If Marjorie Taylor Greene is the center or your balance, your party is in trouble. And I don't agree that the Democrats did what they did either. They kind of backed down from everything. But it is what it is. But you guys have to start changing your viewpoints. And as political people that vote, take time to do some simple math. If you have been in management, if you have been in ownership, whatever it may be, Common Core budget math should be pretty simple. And this last one of 50-year mortgages and the $2,000 credit should prove that math is not the right side strong point. Okay? That's all I got for you today. Thank you again to everybody that supported my mom's tournament. We'll be meeting next week with the Alzheimer's Association and handing them a check for $9,000. So that'll be $14,000 in 12 months that I'll have given to the Alzheimer's Association in honor and memory of my mom, and hopes that no other family has to go through it. That someday there will be an absolute cure. So, to all of you, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the MOP. And enjoy the sunshine today. Warm weather on their way for Southwest Wisconsin. If you saw the northern lights last night, absolutely stunning. And they say they're supposed to be around tonight again, too, which was cool as can be. My wife got some great photos. They're on my page as well. So, and don't forget, I do transfer these all to YouTube. So, there is what it is. All right, we will talk soon. Take you later.